Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with Jordi Alba, as it has been reported that Barcelona is set to review the Spanish defender's contract this summer. Of course, his contract expires in 2024. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about Sergio Busquets, as it has been reported that the Barcelona legend is ready to take a drastic pay cut in order to renew his contract. We are also going to be discussing on that. So, guys, before we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Although Barcelona were not able to make too many moves during the January transfer window, the club have their task cut out ahead of the summer market as they look to drastically lower the salary budget of the whole team. La Liga have asked Barcelona to lower their wage bill by as much as 200 million euros, which has forced the club to look after the contract situation of several players, including the club captains. The likes of Sergio Busquets and Sergio Roberto are likely to be asked to continue for another year, although the latter has not responded to a renewal offer, while Busquets is contemplating on a move abroad, especially with Inter Miami interested in his services. But as far as Alba is concerned, Barcelona are expected to look after his contract situation during the summer. The Catalans have no immediate plans to cater to Alba's contract, as his deal at Camp Nou does not expire until 2024, according to Mundo Deportivo. However, Barcelona have no intention to hold it out until the last minute and make the player eligible to sign a pre-contract agreement or even consider joining other clubs. They are looking to move as early as possible, with the club setting a time frame for the coming summer. Jordi Alba was one of the most criticized players at Barca during the early stages of this season, but the veteran has since made a solid turnaround and has been involved in 3 goals in his last 2 league matches, especially in the win over Sevilla. Alba played a starring role in the left flank, raking up a goal and an assist. His performance has even caught the eye of new Spanish coach Luis de la Fuente, who will be looking forward to utilizing both Alejandro Bade and Alba in the Spanish national team. Jordi Alba has improved on his performances in recent games, involving 3 goals in just 2 games. His contract at Barca comes to an end in 2024, and Barcelona, according to this new report, want to extend his contract. And I think even if the left back continue to produce this kind of performance week in week out, the decision for Barca will even be easier when it comes to extending his contract. Alba was highly criticized when the season just kick-started with very poor performances, and many were telling Barca to sell him as soon as possible. And we quite remember towards the end of last summer transfer window, on the deadline day, Alba was almost loaned out to Inter Milan. And according to the report, Alba had no clue, he had no knowledge about what was going on, and the player was left really angry and frustrated about the way Barca was going about stuff. Because these performances were not good, Xavi was prepared to loan him out, not to sell him, but to loan him out to a club, for the remainder of the season. But that loan move to Inter Milan it did not go through. And here we see Alba trying to improve his game, all because of Alejandro Bade, who gives them the highest competition. Because I think Alba is really improving a lot, knowing fully well that he wants to convince Xavi Hernandez of what he's got. Even if Bade is not there, Alba should be trusted. That's what he wants. And I think from the recent performances he have been putting on, I think he's indirectly saying that, with his actions. So let's see. Honestly speaking, I think these veterans, it was time for some of them to leave the club as the new era has begun. But it seems as though Barca want to keep all these veterans forever, because The other guys, Roberto Busquets, whose contract comes to an end in the summer this year, are looking so likely to extend their contracts at Spotify Camp Nou. And here we are talking about Jordi Alba, whose contract is expiring by next year. Barca want to extend his contract as well. So let's see actually how things go from here, because I know Alba will never refuse if Barca want to opt to renew, because all those guys, they want to stay at Barcelona till they retire, to be honest. And it wouldn't surprise me if all of them finally get a renewal. But I don't know how Barca are going to do with the financial fair play, because these our three captains take a lot of salary. Even though yes, they have taken pay cuts in the past, but I think if Barca can eliminate them from the wage cut or from the wage budget, it will bring a significant space. But it seems as though Barca don't even care about that. And how are we going to match or get so easy to comply with the wage cap in La Liga without doing that? So it's complicated somehow. Let's see. Maybe Laporta has a plan. Then on to the next story of discussion, as speculations mount over the future of Barca midfielder and captain Sergio Busquets. A fresh report from Marca has provided an interesting update on the veteran stance. The 34-year-old is one of the highest earning players in the Barca squad currently, and it is well established by this point that the Catalans cannot keep hold of him on his current salary if he does decide to renew. As per the latest report, La Liga have told Blaugrana that they need to trim their wage bill by at least 200 million euros, and retaining Busquets' services on his current salary would thus be impossible. But the aforementioned report from Marca is now reporting that the Barcelona captain is prepared to take a drastic pay cut in order to renew his contract. Busquets had rejected a 2-year contract from the La Liga leaders and had his heart set on a transfer to the MLS when his deal ran out. Talks are still ongoing with Inter Miami in the background, but there is no agreement as of yet. Meanwhile, the former Spanish international has also received a bumper 18 million euro contract a year offer from Saudi Arabian giant Al Nassr, and the midfielder is thinking about that as well. But Busquets is not ruling out the possibility of continuing at Barcelona. He knows that the manager Xavi Hernandez is intent on keeping hold of him beyond the season, having held talks with him on multiple occasions. While the club have been in the market looking for reinforcements, in the current financial situation does not make it so easy for them to bring in a top player to fill in Busquets' shoes. As such, the extension of the midfielder by another year seems the most viable option. Busquets is willing to hear Barcelona's offer and is open to drastically reduce his wages as well. At the moment, he earns over 20 million euro per year, but the deferred salary payments from the past years have taken the sum to a much higher value. There will be negotiations, and the captain will see what the club offers him and with an open mind and see whether it aligns with his aspirations. Busquets is aware that the money will be greater elsewhere, but Barca, the club of his life, still continues to attract him. Furthermore, Sergio Busquets is producing solid displays in the new four-man midfield system at Barcelona that Xavi has been using of late. What now remains to be seen if what extent he would be willing to lower his wages to renew with Barca. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.